I was 23 once. I learned that being 23 isn't what it was cracked up to be. When I did turn 23, I remember two characters who were also the same age. Two friends who were heading into a world of bizarre misadventures and life-changing events, all while trying to keep their jobs. Today I'll be talking about Cartoon Network's regular show, which is anything but. Before regular show came to Cartoon Network, I want to stress that the late 2000s for the network was not looking good. Shows were leaving us, and Cartoon Network thought it would be a bright idea to add live-action shows to their channel. Even though the channel is called Cartoon Network, the year 2010 came around, and two creators were about to debut their biggest hit that would give Cartoon Network a revival of cartoons that would truly shape today's animation. One of the creators being Pendleton Ward, who created Adventure Time, and J.G. Quintel, who created Regular Show. J.G. Quintel has always been fascinated on making things and having fun with his friends. During his years at Cal Arts, he created two animated shorts, The Naive Men of Lollyland and 2 PM in the AM. He also worked on the following shows: Star Wars Clone Wars, Camp Lazlo, and The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. Afterwards, Quintel would pitch Regular Show to Cartoon Network and the rest goes on. Regular Show follows Mordecai and Rigby, a blue jay and raccoon who lives and works at the city park. While there, they either slack off from their jobs to play video games or get into other misadventures with their fellow coworkers or friends. Simple, yes, but believe me that a day at a park shouldn't be as chaotic as you expect, right? I mentioned Mordecai and Rigby, who are best friends that enjoy playing video games, getting food, and slacking off to their heart's content. The following characters are other co-workers at the park. Benson, the hot-headed boss who wished Mordecai and Rigby would just do their jobs. Skips, the man that knows everything and has seen it all. Pops, a sweet lollipop man who enjoys marveling at anything joyous. Muscle Man, who plays pranks at everybody and is the most rebellious out of the group. And High Five Ghost, who also tags along with Muscle Man. They ensure that the park stays safe and prevent anything from disturbing the peace. The supporting cast consists of friends, recurring enemies, and strange characters that enter into the lives of Mordecai and Rigby. There's Margaret, who is Mordecai's on-again, off-again love interest. Eileen, Mr. Mailer, Baby Ducks, Guardians of Eternal Youth, Death, Thomas, and so much more. A typical episode of Regular Show goes as this. Mordecai and Rigby avoid their responsibilities at the park to slack off, or when they do their jobs, they find an easier solution to handle it. And by some random chance there's a villain they have to face off, or there's just a series of chaos that prevents them from getting what they actually want, and somehow the two manage to stop it and continue on to be the slackers that never learned anything from this experience with a big whoa! Like seriously, the stakes for the show are so high for no reason, and it just happens, and the guys somehow have to find a way to figure it out before the whole world explodes.
Look, Benson, I know we normally don't have very good excuses for why we don't do stuff, but we definitely have a good one this time. That horse right there fell out of the sky and has to pass a US history test or the whole Earth is gonna explode.
What? The animation varies, but it is a unique style to a JT Quintel project. Think of Matt Groening and how he has a signature style to all of his shows. So Quintel has a nice style that is noticeable for people to know that this is a JT Quintel project. In the first season, the animation is definitely fluid, and as the show progresses, it gets more neater and still very expressive to show the emotions for the characters. And it also benefits the show because when things do elevate to higher extremes, the animators go all in for it. Regular Show has a solid cast of voice actors, including J.T. Quintel voicing Mordecai. I also admire the voices of Joker, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Spike Spiegel playing a series of characters. With the addition of great guest voice actors, there's also people who work behind the scenes of the show starring in it. Sam Marin, an animator and friend of J.T. Quintel, voices Benson, Pops, and Muscle Man, which is impressive. Minty Lewis is a writer on the show and also voices Eileen. This cast plays off of each other so well that it comes off as natural in their conversations, making it more realistic and down to earth with the Regular Show universe. Not to mention the music for the show is radical. My love for 80s music is because of my late 8th grade teacher Mr. K and Regular Show. The humor can range from inappropriate jokes, innuendos that are subtext for sex and alcohol, and dark humor. One of my favorite lines in the show would get cut and replaced in future reruns, but it just shows once again how jokes tend to cross the line in moments. Some of the stuff in Regular Show unfortunately remains relevant today, like there's episodes that involve the format wars and internet and streaming declaring themselves as the greatest format. I absolutely love when shows have creators that actually write and create episodes that they enjoy themselves, instead of executives in suits relying on algorithms and statistics on what it takes to make a show great. Once I spot the internet and pop culture references and how they use it in the show, it's clear to me that the people behind the scenes are also fans themselves. Regular Show also got their TV movie in 2015, between the Eileen Plan and the Hello China episode. However, the events take place after the Parky Awards episode. Mordecai and Rigby have to go back in time to high school in order to stop a volleyball coach who vows revenge on them. It was pretty cool at the time. And thinking back, Cartoon Network hasn't done an original movie since the Ed and Eddie Picture Show. The movie was outrageous as it sounds, but even gets more bizarre when we get to the season 7 finale, as the entire park with the addition of Eileen were sent off into space. I feel like I'm in the minority for liking this season. It's not my favorite, but who wouldn't enjoy fun space adventures? Especially when those space adventures would lead to a plotline of Pops having to fight his evil twin that I was so stressed for the park on how they were going to do it. The show had a whole arc about Pops with his backstory and how he has superpowers, which then we find out he has an evil twin called Anti-Pops, which would lead to one of the biggest finales I've ever witnessed and one of the greatest battles in cartoon history. The finale is one for the books. If there is one thing I love when it comes to watching cartoons, it is a giant fight with the final boss, and everybody that we know in the show come together to help the main characters to stop them. The battle ends with a beautiful yet sad resolution for Pops as he makes the ultimate sacrifice, giving Anti-Pops a hug, and they both fly into the sun. Because of that hug, Anti-Pops realizes all the hatred he's caused and rekindles his final moments with Pops, showing how kindness is the most powerful thing to have. Because of that, the entire Earth is saved, and everything is altered to be back to normal, and the team return back. After all the years of the misadventures, growing up, and saving the world a couple of times, everybody manages to have a good life with the people they love, and remembering the man who gave them the life to live. The send-off of a regular show was amazing, and how far these characters have come from the first episode was very fulfilling after being with the show for so long, truly being a jolly good show. I was 10 when regular show premiered, and I was there for everything. Funny thing about it is that I didn't enjoy regular show at first. I was kind of close to dropping the show entirely because of the Unicorn Bros episode, until I got to the season 1 finale, the Mordecai and the Rigby's. Something about Mordecai telling his future self that he would never sell himself out as a rock star who lip syncs really got to me. It's a good thing too I stayed, because the more I kept watching, Mordecai and Rigby getting themselves into situations, the events in the show would become more than just working at the park. Regular show displays the ups and downs of your 20s, building yourself up after many have doubted you, and taking ownership in the decisions you make, whether if you fail or succeed. Similar to how stressful it was watching Gravity Falls in Lifetime, you wouldn't think regular show would be like that until I got to the season 4 premiere. Exit 4B is the perfect episode that captures the true and unimaginable scenarios of regular show. Or how about that time Mordecai killed Rigby all because Rigby got Margaret to go into the movies with him, way quicker than Mordecai ever had a chance getting closer to Margaret. The frustration I got also from Mordecai and his little to no progress with Margaret just made me feel sorry for him. Look, I get it, crushes are never easy to deal with, but seeing how he would escalate things that didn't need to go as far as they did was really hard for me to root for him. I remember taking Amadeus when Margaret said no to him because she got accepted to her dream school. I was so crushed because he finally got the courage just to get shot down at the end. Also, while a shootout between the cops and robotic animatronics were going on at the restaurant, but yeah, that's part of the episode. And as things were getting better for him because he met CJ, and he still managed to screw those things up to dig himself into a bigger hole to the biggest of them all. Yes, I was a big fan of Mordecai and CJ. I thought Margaret was cool until I realized she was just as bad as Mordecai for not being 100% with herself. And Merry Christmas Mordecai is one of the most painful episodes I witnessed, yet I can't determine that because I still think back to Mordecai's speech that he gave at Muscle Man's wedding. How do you fumble so bad? I'm sure the writers intend to have Mordecai's life be as messy and complicated just so we could be amazed, whether that is the romantic relationship from other characters or big character developments and growth. Rigby, out of all characters, truly came a long way through the show. Yes, he still has his annoying moments, but the progression of him taking responsibility for himself by getting his GED, and along with being adorable with Eileen, shows that people can truly change when they apply themselves. I also reminisce on other things that happened in the show, like learning about Skips' backstory, Benson being more than just a boss at the park, Muscle Man's relationship with his father, which was heartfelt, the annual Terror Tales of the Park or holiday specials, and Thomas's true identity of being a Russian spy named Nikolai. That still throws me for a loop. Most of regular show is based on J.G. Quintel's life and experience of being in college. Ultimately, me rewatching regular show when I turned 23 solidified that I too was in my own regular show. I was starting to make big decisions for myself as I entered into this new wave of adulthood. I enrolled in college. I would meet strangers who would become my lifelong friends. I would get to work at a job or two, get to expand my experiences. I would fall in love, get my heart broken. Graduating from college. And this is just the beginning for me. I still have more to learn, but my early 20s were a time for me to discover myself and what I wanted to do with my life. And there's also things that I wasn't aware of regular show in the beginning, but now I understand as I've gotten older. Jokes aside, you don't have to be 23 or in your 20s to fully understand the show. I thought it would be fun to talk about why regular show is incredible and was special the second time around watching. The cast and crew brought their own experiences and authenticity to their stories, which we can all relate to. Regular show is the kind of show that made me appreciate living in the present. It was the beginning of Cartoon Network's renaissance and later lead to more creative and splendid cartoons for the 2010s. Overall, the experience of regular show was full of surprises and random occurrences, but lifting that layer shows how your 20s are the years where you build your fundamentals as you are becoming your individual self. Life can be full of uncertainty, small pockets of joy, or an epic mecha battle between baby ducks and wild geese. However, it's the people you go on those adventures with that makes life anything but regular. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'm signing off. Well...